my back has been fucked up. You know, I've been in Snap City for the last 3 months, and see, before my back used to snap every 6 months or so, and then it recovers by itself in a week or two. But this time it's been 3 months, and it's just like 10 years of heavy lifting, and now it's more or less consistent. The injury is more or less consistent now, and I can't even sit without feeling sting through the outside of my right leg. But it's just getting better. It's just getting better. Today is the best I've ever felt in quite a while, and I've been driving back and forth between Ottawa and Toronto, and I have to take Advil. I try not to, but I have to take Advil during those trips. And the Advil, when I take it, dopamine gets released. And then when I take it, when the pain ceases, dude, it's like a magic pill. It's like ecstasy. It's like heroin. That's how good it feels. Just to return to the normal, healthy state of mind when I take the Advil. And that reminds me of a blog post that I wrote a couple months ago about how I sort of imagine this reverse negative pill that gets produced for people who take their normal state of health for granted. See, our normal state of health, the way it feels, it's only relative to either a state of mind that's above it or below it. It's coming from the state of illness. Your normal state of mind feels freaking euphoric. It feels amazing. It feels like a drug high, right? But when we're in the midst of health, we take it for granted. We don't really feel that high. So I imagine this pill, just like there's different kinds of drugs, you know, weed, there's ecstasy, there's heroin, there's meth, there's different reverse or negative pills that elicit different illnesses at the physical and mental level, but of course without the actual damage to the body. So you have an AIDS or HIV pill where when you take it, you have all the symptoms of AIDS for like a weekend or something, and after the low, or which is the high, after the low, you go back to your normal state of mind, and that becomes the high. And then you have a testicular cancer pill where you take it if you're just bored fucking your wife over 20 years and you can't get an erection. But after you trick your body thinking that you have testicular cancer, you wake up next morning, you feel like, man, that's the best Viagra that I've ever taken. Because when you return to your normal functioning state of mind and penis, when you fuck your wife, it's gonna be the best sex you ever had in your life. Or a flu pill you take on a Sunday night, and you feel like you have a flu for a few hours, and then you wake up Monday morning when you go to work, you feel so happy to just be healthy that it feels like you could go into a football game, you know, or you're going clubbing. And see, like, I feel wonderful today. I feel like today's the best day of my life since I got to Canada. Why? Because my back is almost, at least today, it almost feels fine. So I'm always trying to acquire more, you know, gain more muscles, acquire more aesthetics, acquire more PRs, get stronger, always going after the pluses. But when you're at the neutral state, again, that's a gain right there if you're injured, right? So injuries is a great way to really just let you appreciate how wonderful life is right now. And right now I'm 150 pounds. And I look, some people in real life think that I'm 170 pounds or 180 pounds. No one guessed that I was under 155. And let me tell you, people think that Instagram photos and YouTube videos and pictures on magazines are illusions compared to real life. For me, there is no distinction. They're both just an image anyway. They're both illusions anyway. So the point is, weight itself is an illusion. See, every time that I cut, I weigh less and I look bigger. So the last time I was down to this low of a body fat, I was 5 pounds heavier, but I look smaller. This really make you question the fundamentals of reality. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the meditation that I'm doing when I do Vipassana, scanning my body up and down. It always feels like subjectively that I'm blowing air into my cells and that I'm dissolving and becoming more and more holographic. And my goal is to look like Ronnie Coleman while weighing only 3 grams. And this cut has been tremendously easy for me. Never once during this cut, or even bulk, that I felt like I was cutting or bulking. I haven't felt the craving for any kind of food outside of my caloric restriction. None at all. You know, this cut just sort of unfolded and unraveled on its own. I'm just sitting there, let it happen to me, instead of me trying to acquire an ideal aesthetics that I have in my mind. And see, before when I was dirty bulking, the fat, in my mind, it's not so much a storage of fat cells from eating junk food. It's more or less from junk thoughts. It's more like they're the manifestation of sort of this delusional fantasies of what I want to look like 5 to 10 years down the road. This image in my mind, this picture in my mind. And that sort of detracts you from just staying present when you live. Because right now, at this point of my training career, I'm pretty satisfied with my body every single second. So when I lift, I can focus my entire awareness on the single contraction. And of course, meditation has a lot to do with decreasing my desire to crave for junk food. But one thing it does for sure is that it increases my tolerance for pain. So I could take a lot more volume. See, during my last bulk, I was doing up to 40 sets of workout, 5 to 6 times a week. There are studies that show that meditation changes and arranges your molecular and cellular structure, even down to the realm of the DNA. And there's not enough studies to objectively prove this, but you know, you don't really know what's really going on when you're applying a technique that's been passed down over thousands of years.